And good evening. Welcome to our fourth edition of the South Florida Blitz. As we take a look back at week 2 of high school football in South Florida. I am Marty Pallman. He's Joshua Wilson of FloridaHSFootball.com. Good to be back with you after a week away last week due to illness. And Josh, back to normal now, and did a great job last week by yourself. With Andre C. Fernandez as your guest, always a good guest for the Miami Herald, and
yes, very much so. And we glad we had him on. But tonight, there's going to be I think the guest that we're going to have on will definitely be a good one to talk to.
Yeah, how about that? Terrence McFadden, the head coach of Blanche Ely and Pompano Beach. How about this victory? Probably one of the biggest in the history of their football program. 35-34. They defeated Chaminade Madonna, who is 0-2 now. Week 1, they lose to Don Bosco or St. John Bosco, which out of California, which, that team ranked number 2 or 3 in the country. That makes sense. That doesn't surprise you, but this one was a surprise.
No, it was definitely a shocker. It was like, not a lot of people expected Chaminade Madonna to lose this game. They didn't expect Blanche Ely to be in, give Chaminade Madonna a little bit of a game, but Blanche Ely, they just literally said, hey, here we are, hold on. So, but that we will talk more about that here in just a moment here in the Blitz lines.
As that'll be in our, again, I'll have our interview later with Coach McFadden and Blanche Ely, as you said. Coming up to our pick 6. How did we do this week? Well, I guess we'll see in a few moments how we fared last week in week 2 and heading into week 3. And that means it's time for the Blitz lines. As we
indeed
look back at week 2 of high school football.
No, absolutely. And again, as you said, as we said earlier here, as we started the show, Marty, a lot of things happening here, a lot of things that have happened here. And, what we say. So here we go. Our number 1. We have 3 uh-ohs here.
Go ahead. Number. Do we have another thing we can use for something that's bad? That loser horn is funny for The Price is Right. But yes, that is number 1. This is definitely number 1 at the top of the list. Chaminade Madonna. What's going on with them? They're 0-2. I mean, again, you could probably see the loss week 1. I mean, losing to St. John Bosco it's probably excusable. You're at home, kind of at home, but this time Blanche Ely comes in and beats Chaminade 35-34 in overtime. So now the Lions are 0-2.
Yes, indeed, and uncharacteristic of Chaminade Madonna, but I'm looking at it this week. I believe we have them again on the pick 6 once again, and so we'll be talking about that. Maybe they might get win number 1 this week.
Yeah, they're going to need one now, I guess. But again, they started with 2 tough losses really late in those games. But long season, Chaminade defending what they won the last 3 state championships as well. I think 6 of 7. So they have a long way to go to turn this around, and they can still do that, obviously. But really a big win for Blanche Ely, a huge win for them. A program we talk about them a lot in basketball. They always had a really good basketball program, not so as much in football, but that's a big one. So for them to get that win against Chaminade,
I mean, they do. Blanche Ely does have a couple state championships in their resume, so
it's been a little while. But yeah, you're right, and So. Good win, a big win for them. And Chaminade Madonna now has to figure out some things as they head into week 3. But that's number 1. Then we go to.
Oh, absolutely. Hold on 1 second. Right. I got a little computer issue here going on here. All right, so let's fix that here. Now we'll get this correct. There we go.
Live television.
There we go.
Yeah. So number 2. Yeah. Another 0-2 team. Another state finalist from a year ago. Homestead. Is Homestead in trouble? The Broncos 0-2. They go down last week.
Yes, and they went down this time to their rival South Dade.
South Dade, right? So,
which a game that South Dade we talked about last night on the Central Florida Blitz, as they're going to make a trip to Osceola this week.
Osceola, right? So we have a few of those, but
Homestead, they're just, I don't know what's going on. I mean, outside there, they are breaking in a new quarterback this year, but a lot of people thought, okay, well, Homestead, they've been on the upswing, the 2 state runner-up finishes the last 2 years. I mean, what else could be, here at this point? For them, it's like, can you beat your rival Homestead? That I think is the biggest thing. But I mean, for South Dade, for Homestead to beat your rival South Dade, I mean, you can't do it. I mean, that's it's a struggle.
That is, and again, it's a long season. Starting 0-2 isn't the worst thing in the world, but it kind of makes you wonder as you look around. And I don't know, ask FSU. They started 0-2. Probably didn't see that coming as they were ranked 10th in the nation.
Did they say that it's 0-2 in barbecue?
No, I mean, I said that last night, but no, not in football. That's baseball. I mean, you go out in 2 games, you get eliminated usually from the College World Series or the regional. But
okay.
yeah, you could. I mean, I don't know. You're probably out of the national championship hunt, so you could say 0-2 in barbecue, I guess. But you're not out of the state championship hunt when you're 0-2 because you got a long season still to go. And
I mean, we're still got in terms of that, we still have 9 weeks to go before playoffs.
Right. I mean, we've seen teams like last year, Trinity Catholic 3-7 in the regular season. They played for a state title in the end, and their schedule was ridiculous. The records don't really matter in the regular season. If you get to the playoffs and you get hot, you can still win everything. All right. Number 3, another defending state champ. This the Columbus High School out of Miami, and they struggle. They win against Our Lady of Good Counsel out of Maryland.
They lost.
Oh, I'm sorry. They did. Go ahead. Hit it.
Yes, they did. They lost it. They dropped the game 14-10.
Hit the thing. Sorry.
I read and you wrong. Know what? And some people
I read this wrong. Sorry. Yeah, they lost the game 14-10. So
yes, because I had it right on our notes here on our show notes. So
yeah, and they are now 1-1, but that's a team out of Maryland. So
well, I mean, it's a good competition. The problem is that we saw them struggle against in week 1. They only won that game 17-14 for their season opener. So the question for the Explorers was was it going to show up against them against Our Lady of Good Counsel? And sure enough, it did. Here you are. You're sitting here struggling. You're struggling to figure out how to get things going. And I mean, honestly, the Explorers, honestly, they really needed to kind of get something going these first 2 weeks because your next opponent, that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
Your next opponent is St. Thomas Aquinas.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, and Aquinas, themselves lost week 1, as we know, to they lost to Bishop Gorman. Bishop Gorman, that's right, in the nationally televised game. They come back to win last week, so they're 1-1. But yeah, that now as you said, Columbus, they got to figure some things out. A lot of these teams do. A lot of these teams in South Florida have to have some things to figure out early in the season, and one of those teams though is not Plantation, but Plantation is 2-0.
Yeah,
that's not a misprint.
That is not a misprint by any means, people. That is not a misprint. And honestly, starting to show. I love this. We're gonna bring this comment up here from Nelly. Hey, Nelly. Starting to show a bunch of OOs is never good. And yes, the question mark is the South. It's actually the question mark. I guess we could ask ourselves and across the entire state, Marty.
Yes.
Is Florida on a downward trajectory this year?
I mean, it's kind of early to see that, to figure that out. But I don't know. Right now, it sure appears that there's some. I don't know if the best teams are in South Florida, is what I'm going to say right now. Now, we know Lakeland already went down there and won a game against Central. There are other teams around the state that are playing really well. But right now, the teams in South Florida, they're kind of struggling a bit, really. And we have yet to see. I don't even know if there's not a lot of undefeated teams even. We just said Plantation was one of them.
Well, but, I mean, this is what I put out. By the way, I should have shared this last night, but I think this is more appropriate.
That's the other team. Might be the best team.
Well, more appropriate here in terms of what has happened here over the last few weeks, and actually the last 2 weeks, I should say. Cardinal. Okay, so this is the defending state champions after week 2. Cardinal Mooney 2-0, Cocoa 2-0, Hawthorne 2-0. Lakeland's 1-0. All right. So out of all the defending state champions, only 4 teams are right now undefeated. All right. Now, if you noticed, none of them are from South Florida. Berkeley Prep 1-1, Columbus 1-1, St. Thomas Aquinas 1-1, Shemana Madonna 0-2, Mainland 0-2.
Yeah, you've got teams that play for state titles. Homestead's 0-2.
May not be the best start. May not be the best start for defending state champions in quite a while.
No, and you mentioned Cardinal Mooney. That's one team in Sarasota, but Cocoa, Hawthorne, Lakeland. Those are teams that we've talked about before. And yeah, I think right now you'll see the maybe the best teams are in other parts of the state, but it's still early, so we'll see where that goes from here.
And we're trying to see. Terrence McFadden did confirm that he would be. He was available tomorrow night, and I said, "You're good." I booked him, so but he has not popped on yet. So we'll see. But as we still go through here, the blitz lines and stuff. So
we got a lot of things still to get to here. Miami Central, they get a win. They ended their record at 1-1. There you go. After losing to Lakeland week 1, changed quarterbacks and they thrash Edison 54-7.
There you go, Noli, and everybody else. There's some round of applause instead of having the uh-ohs. Now we'll get into a little bit more positive spin here.
Yeah, we will. Miami Central 1-1 now after that tough loss to Lakeland week 1, and now we go from the. Go ahead.
Oh well, but this one actually is going back to the negative.
Yeah, back to go to Western. Well, now keep in mind they lost to American Heritage, but
everybody was hyping them like as a potential state title contender, and you're 0-2, and you can only muster up 12 points against American Heritage. Okay, I know it's American Heritage, but come on, if you're expecting, people are expecting you to be competitive out of the gate here, it doggone well that you should be able to compete and put more points than 12 up on the board.
Yeah,
that's what I don't get.
And also keep in mind that American Heritage lost week 1 as well. They lost to Milton, Georgia, so they were 0-1 coming in. They're 1-1 now.
Well, apparently somebody was fired up because both teams were 0-1. Both teams lost in the Broward Showcase, and American Heritage
lost to Hoover. Yeah,
and American Heritage was more fired up, but by far, by looking at the world, it's the result.
An interesting. Yeah, I know we are being Debbie Downers here, but it is. There are some questions. You're right about a lot of the teams in South Florida. But the thing is, as the season goes on, I feel like these teams are going to right the ship. No doubt. Speaking of riding the ship, more positives here. As we mentioned, Aquinas and Cardinal Gibbons come back with wins. Cardinal Gibbons losing week 1, and they get a win week 2.
By the way, just real quick, not to try to sidestep to hear the thing, but by the way, Dia Bell, who is a Texas commit, 332 yards and 5 touchdowns in that game against Western.
Okay, Dia Bell, Texas commit. Yep.
I
don't know. As you said, 51-12 for American Heritage.
But Aquinas 51-0 over Boyd Anderson, and Cardinal Gibbons I believe it was 33-7 over South Broward. So hey, another round of applause both for the Raiders and the Chiefs.
Yep, they're back to 1-1. As Nelly says, Western. Sorry,
yes. We'll bring this up here on the screen, Marty.
Only Broward hyped Western. They don't have the pedigree to actually the hoopla. FHSA records don't lie. Okay.
Well, I mean, hey, we have not seen Western yet play for a state semifinal, so keep that in mind.
Right. That's right. So, all right, we move now to SSAA, the number 1 team in SSA, NSU Nova Southeastern University suffers their first loss of the season to Calvary Christian in Fort Lauderdale.
Yes, they did, and I mean, I'm kind of wondering, how's it going to look on the FloorHSFootball.com sports media poll rankings tomorrow when they come out here tomorrow morning. See what the final vote tally is on that one. See if it shifts a little bit. I mean, what's really more surprising for me in that is that Masters Academy out of Oviedo, who is the defending SSA state champ, is not the number 1 team. I'm surprised they didn't start as the number 1 team, but a lot of people were looking at it as University School. Not sure about Masters Academy, but Masters Academy is 3-0 on the season, and I mean, my opinion is they probably should be number 1, but we'll see what happens and go from there.
I have a feeling that might happen after the results this week. But as you said, the number 1 team in SSAA going down. Now we move back to FHSAA. West Boca Raton is 2-0, and Jupiter among Palm Beach County's best public school teams.
They deserve a round of applause because especially West Boca, who beat Palm Beach Central,
and the Warriors of Jupiter beat Park Vista. So
I mean, you gotta give credit to programs that may not have necessarily been teams that are top 25 teams that are have been, these teams have been flying under the radar, but we got to give them props here, especially to the fact that, hey, the landscape of Palm Beach County, it's shifting a little bit, people. It is shifting a little bit here.
Right. Exactly. And I don't know, again, Josh, though, this could change. I mean, there's a long season. A lot can happen, and we're not saying that these teams aren't going to be any good, but it's kind of tough right now for a lot of the South Florida teams. But we're going to move up the coast a little north now to Indian River
and St. Lucie County.
St. Lucie County, Vero Beach and Treasure Coast are both 0-2. What in the world is going on? It says up there. Where in the world is the Treasure Coast? Where in the world is Carmen San Diego. But
where in the world is Vero Beach?
Yeah, Vero Beach. Well, I mean, who have they played the first 2 weeks? They played Buchholz last week.
Well, they played O'Galley
week 1. They're pretty good teams. So, 0-2 start.
Yeah, but 0-2 start, but we'll talk about it more in our North Florida Blitz about Buchholz, about going down the Vero Beach. But this one here, I'm telling you, this was
Yeah.
Because usually Vero Beach and Treasure Coast are the class of the Treasure Coast. Now it's not to say that both teams end up running the table and go 8-2. Well, wait a second, hold on. They have to play each other. So no, one of them can't go. One of them is going to end up with 3 losses on the season. I can tell you that right now.
And we have Treasure Coast on one of our other picks. Who are they playing this week?
They are playing First Academy this week.
Ooh, so they might be 0-3. It's very possible. First Academy coming in for a win off Edgewater, so in Orlando. But yeah, so that's interesting game for them as well. But yeah, I don't know. Vero Beach again, tough schedule. We'll see if they can turn it around. By the way, here's an interesting comment here from Mark Cannon.
Yes, we'll bring that up here. And
no
he's right.
Dade or Broward Public School won a state title last year. When last year was? What year was it when this happened? I have to look at the FHS state record book.
I need the FHS record book here to tell you this, Mark, because it's. I have
to have that for next week. Do some research, but no, the thing is, and you're right. I was just thinking to myself, yeah, they had to have public schools, but no, it was Columbus, St. Thomas Aquinas. Those are private schools.
And St. Thomas, St. Thomas.
And then you had Norland lost in the final. Norland lost. Cocoa, Hawthorne won. Yeah, you're right. I don't think there was a Lakeland.
You know what? I'm actually going to stick. You know what? We're going to do this.
We're going to look it up live.
Yeah, we're going to look it up live because actually, you know what? Let's take a water break. I don't know where our guest is at. I've messaged Coach McFadden. He said he's available. I've sent everything to him, but
okay. Well, we'll do that. We'll take a water break, our first of the show, and we'll come back and maybe have an answer and talk a little bit more about this as well. Pick 6 is coming up later in the show. This is the South Florida Blitz live here tonight on Facebook. We're also on Twitter, X, Instagram, and YouTube. TikTok as well. We'll be back. All right, welcome back to the South Florida Blitz.
Yes, indeed. And Marty, I'll let you do a little talking there. Well, I pulled this up here because our guest has not showing up here yet.
Well, he's busy. I know.
We'll see. We'll have to see what's going on there. So, but
maybe we'll have him on another week. But yeah, again, we were talking a lot about how the this little bit of struggle in South Florida this year. In fact, Josh, as we speak, is going to the FHSA record books. We're going to see when the last time a public school team from Dade County last year that there were no state champions from Miami-Dade or Broward public schools.
Keep talking because the coach just messaged me and I need to call him. So
okay. And we'll look that up actually here in just a moment. But, talking a little bit more about what Chaminade Madonna off to that start now. As you can hear, Josh is trying to get him on the air. So we're doing this live.
If you click the link, you can join the video.
Okay, so looks like we're going to get him on the air here in a moment. But the Lions of Chaminade Madonna, yep, they got some questions, and we'll talk to looks like Coach McFadden and Blanche Ely in a moment how they were able to win that game last week, 35-34 in overtime. And that'll be coming up in our interview. Pick six as well. We'll have some interesting games to look at, some results from last week, as well as the fan question of the week. And, of course, every week, 7:30 to 8:15 here on Tuesday night, South Florida Blitz. And then also tonight, 8:30 to 9:15, the North Florida Blitz as well. As Nully says, Mark is right. All private wins last year. 2022 was the last year public school from Dade won. Dade is turning into Broward Duval. Huh? I don't know if I understand that completely.
You were able to find that, Coach?
Dade is turning into Broward Duval. Okay. Yeah, that was right, because I was trying to think. Cardinal Mooney won last year. Hawthorne, Cocoa, Lakeland. Yeah, the only teams I can think of are Aquinas and Columbus from South Florida that won last year. So yeah, those were private school teams. It's true. So anyway,
yes, I'm here, Coach.
So okay, we're still waiting.
Yeah, so you get the link on your text message. I sent you the StreamYard link that I sent you earlier.
2022, as we said, that was the last year public school from Dade won. So she pulled up the records over here, but he's not. So
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, let me go ahead and get you off the phone.
Coming up in just a few moments. Again, we'll talk more about this with Coach McFadden and Blanche Ely. Okay.
We'll get him on here in a moment.
What? We're gonna have him on in a moment.
We're working on it.
Okay. So now that we have that done, I don't know, Josh.
Okay, so while we're waiting, we're having some technical difficulties on the coaches in here. So I apologize. We do everything. Oh, there it is, right there. Here we go. We got Coach coming in here. I think let's see if we got him. Let's go ahead and see if we got his video. Coach, if you let's see if we can get his thing here added. I'll go ahead and do this here in a moment here. Give us a second here. We're trying to work this out here with Coach here. Give us a second. We'll go ahead and get the coach on here, and then let's see. Oh, that's right. Hello. All right. I don't know, Coach. Can you hear us?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, we're just trying to make sure we got Coach on here. Give us a second here. We're trying to make sure, Coach, your video signal. We're trying to get you. I think the video signal is the only problem that we're having right this second, I think. We're trying to the qualities of the thrills of doing live broadcasting here. We got Coach on. We're just trying to get him on here, and we're having some technical difficulties here with the signal here. So forgive us for a moment here as we work through this here.
All right. Well, yeah, at least we've almost got him. It looks like.
Yeah, because we can see him, but the video's frozen. So that's what we're. Coach, maybe coming in the thing. Coach, you got your video? Good. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do this here real quick. I'll bring this in here and bring him in. Coach, can you got us?
Yes, I can see you guys.
Okay, yeah, we're just having some connect. It looks like your video's thing, but Coach, but we're glad we finally got you on. I know things have been busy for you. I know it's been a busy last few days, but Coach McFadden from Blanche Ely, Coach. We got to talk about this. This is huge here. I mean, let's first congratulations on the victory, because that set the tone for y'all's program, and I think for y'all to get that big win over Chaminade Madonna. What was going through your mind coaching that game? Because I mean, Chaminade Madonna, if we weren't the loss in 2020, they'd be having like 9 state titles already. So, but a defending state champion, the way the quality caliber of program they are, to beat them and to beat them in overtime. I mean, what was going through your mind coaching this game, first and foremost?
No, just coming out and executing the game plan pretty much. These kids have been working hard all summer, all spring. They've been working ever since January. So these kids, they believe in the program. They believe in what we got going on here. And not for a second, they thought, that they was going to lose that ball game. They did everything to try to win it. And I'm proud of the kids, man.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, Coach, how big a win is this for you guys? I mean, let's think about that for a little bit for your program. How big a win is this for Blanche Ely?
It's big. It's big for the community, and it's big for public schools in general.
Yeah.
So more so kind of the reason I came over to Blanche Ely. I was at American Heritage for like 9 years and Delray Heritage. And they were just coming over and getting these kids to buy into a program and know the work it takes to put in to get to where they need to be at. So, everything's running the course, and we just got to stay to the stated plan and make sure we're doing the right things on and off the field.
No, and absolutely, Coach. And, buy-in, considering that, we're talking a program that has 2 state titles, 1999 and 2003. It's been a minute since Blanche Ely has won a state championship. But I know the goal for you is to get them to a state championship game. And by beating Chaminade Madonna, that's obviously step one, obviously, is, hey, to beat a team of that caliber. I mean, when you look at that, you do how much. I mean, I know they say the tradition in history sometimes doesn't win ball games. We all know that, but it's what's on the field now. But how much do you really imply and instill what the history of what Blanche Ely has done? So over the years, and now taking a program that obviously has had some struggles here in the last few years, but getting them back up and working them back up.
Right, and considering I'm from Pompano Beach too, I'm right here. I should have been a Blanche Ely, alumni, but I ended up going to American Heritage, playing my high school football, and just coming back and being coach at Blanche Ely. I know a lot of the tradition. I know a lot of the players that came here that played before me, and guys that I used to watch, and it's just it's a great atmosphere, so.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, Coach. So what are we looking at now for the rest of the season? Talk a little bit about the schedule coming up for your team after this big win last week.
The plan is to go out every Friday and treat everybody, just like just like every other opponent. Everyone, everybody's going to practice every week, and they're trying to put together a game plan to beat it. Do the same thing. So
yeah,
we just got to stay the course and believe in what we're doing and execute, right? Because right now everybody's saying, you got a target on your back, and at the same time we feel like we still got a chip on our shoulders. So, we just continue working, normal day to day, and But I finally got me some rest, over the weekend. After being up for 2 months, knowing that we had to play this game. So that was a good part about it.
No, the rest is always important. And I know that, and ultimately, what did you tell the guys after the win? I mean, I know obviously celebrate a little bit, because I know it's huge, but I know you have to tell them quickly. I mean, the thing in my mind, you would have to tell them quickly, hey, we got to celebrate, but we got to put this, we can't keep celebrating on this, because we you still got 8 more games left on the schedule here. As the season's still, there's still a lot of season left here.
Honestly, everybody was pretty excited, but and they was more so excited by people thinking they couldn't do it. they know they could do it. They knew they was going to do it. They just had it in their mind that they was going to win it. It was just more for the doubters and the naysayers that said they couldn't do it. But it was a regular Saturday morning, back to practice, film study, going over the things that we did wrong and, critiquing ourselves. Like, honestly, we are, as coaching staff, we're some of our biggest critics. So we was right back in here on Saturday morning, 8 o'clock, watching film, you know what I'm saying, hammering them on the things they did wrong and the things they did right. We congratulated them on it, but, shit, it's regular business.
No. Regular business as usual, as they would say. And Coach, just real quick, looking at it, your district there coming up here. Your first district game is coming up here in about 2 weeks' time at 5A District 14, and you got Atlantic, which that's a really good team. So y'all will have another challenge sitting there waiting for you on the 13th of this month, and then of course Deerfield Beach, Coconut Creek, another team that has come up in the ranks a little bit in Broward County over the last few years. But honestly, I mean, hey. You know what? Playoffs, district championship, it's all on the table for y'all this year. But you know what? I say this, hats off to y'all for getting the win that probably would be the toughest game for the season to this point for y'all. But I mean, honestly, when I saw this and I heard this, I was like, wow, it just flipped the whole world of Florida high school football upside down. But you know what? That's what I live for. I live for the moments like this where things change.
That's why the game is played in between the lines.
Exactly. I like it.
That's why we play the game, man. But and for those guys to make history, I'm just ecstatic for the kids. Like, I done had my time, and I had my time in coaching and winning state championships over at American Heritage, and I came here to try to get these kids on the same thing. Teaching them the same kind of things that we used to do over there. And they're buying in, man. So we take nobody lightly. So.
No, absolutely.
We come out with the same approach that nobody believes in us, and only the guys in the locker room is who we're going to war with every week. So until we earn the respect of everybody else, we're gonna keep that chip on our shoulder.
No, absolutely. And Coach, I got a comment here from a fan. It says, "Got a great job, Coach McFadden. Keep the momentum going." And you can't go wrong with those FAMU colors that y'all got at Blanche Ely, because a lot of people love that.
Yeah.
But no, absolutely. But Coach, I mean, for you, I know it's you got a great thing going there at Blanche Ely. I mean, 2-0 on the season, and hey, and I've been looking at it, 105 points scored, by the way, so far this season. That's pretty doggone good.
Yeah, pretty, pretty impressive. But end of the day, it's just any given day, any given Friday, even getting Saturday, you just got to come out and execute.
No, absolutely.
We're looking to, just keep putting up points and keep stopping people.
No, absolutely.
The name of the game is block and tackle. Whoever does that the best, that's the team that'll win the ball game.
No, absolutely, and we like that. And Coach, congratulations to you and the Blanche Ely Tigers for the big victory on Friday night last week, and we'll be definitely keeping an eye on what the Tigers do here for the rest of the season, and hopefully that'll be a trip to the playoffs too, maybe a district championship. But again, thank you for taking your time. I know you were a few minutes late, but hey, we understand things happen, practice happens, and you got to get those guys better each and every week.
But I appreciate you guys for having me on, man, and for nothing, man. Keep an eye on these kids. We got some great kids in this program. We definitely got some athletes. Everybody probably seen on Friday night, and those kids overlooked for the past few years, and they've been with me for at least 2 or 3 years here. So, you know what I'm saying? And they're due a look at least.
All right, Coach,
no, absolutely.
Thanks very much. We
appreciate it. Yeah. All right, thank you, Coach. That was Coach Terrence McFadden joining us here on the South Florida Blitz here, Marty. And even though Coach was we got him on.
Yeah, apologize for that's what happens. It's live, like you said, but we got him on, as you said, and he's pretty. I guess as happy as he can be. But that's good for that program that he came over from American Heritage and from some of the private schools. He said they wanted to do it for the public schools, and that's what he's doing with Blanche Ely. By the way, they won their first game 70-7 over Boy Anderson. You mentioned 105 points in 2 games. 70 of those came in game one. So
Yeah,
they will go
absolutely.
for a 3-0 record this week at Stranahan. All right, we are a little bit behind, but that's okay. When we come back, we will go with our fan question of the week. We're going to figure out that question earlier about the last time no Dade or Miami-Dade or Broward Public Schools won a state title. We're going to look at that up as well. And then we'll have our pick six coming up on the South Florida Blitz after this water break. All right, welcome back. Marty Pallman, Joshua Wilson here on the South Florida Blitz. This has been an interesting episode. We had Terrence McFadden of Blanche Ely on with us, talking about his team's upset win over Chaminade Madonna. And
yes,
time now for the fan question of the week. And I was going to go with the question we had earlier.
I'm going to bring it back up here.
Yeah, no, I think we're going to have to.
Actually, this one, it's because Noli said something, but
no date or program. We're going to have to probably. We're just. It's too. We don't have a lot of time right now to be looking it up because there's just a lot going on.
But yeah,
live.
I'm looking at it closely here, and I'm trying to say the last time a public school from, I mean, before
Broward or Miami-Dade.
Broward or Miami-Dade, I would. Okay, so 2018, no, 2017, that's a no.
16
no. 15, that's a no.
Yep. 14 is a no.
14's a no. 13 is definitely a no there.
12 is a no.
12 is definitely actually, well, 12 is a no because
Central.
well, because remember, yeah, that was or no 20 now 2011. Let's look at that one here. Yeah,
Norland one.
Norland won that one,
Yeah.
but remember that was the year that Sumter and Miami Central both. I mean, Armwood and Miami
Yeah.
Central got both.
2010.
2010. It's the 2009. Okay, let's see.
Wait, no, I think it's 2009. Wait, no,
No,
Miramar's there.
no.
Sorry. Okay, my bad.
Actually, to looking at this,
2008.
2008.
Yeah.
Last time to the public school.
And Miami Northwestern played for the title, lost to Seminole. That was the Andre DeBose team, I believe, 28-21 in Orlando. And that was the only team I see from Gulliver Prep played for the state
But that
title.
was private school.
Private. Yeah, that was the only other team from the area that year, right? So that
St. Thomas won that year, but again,
Jupiter
remember,
Christian won 1B as well. So yeah, that's
yeah. So
there you go, 2008. So it was 15 years. So there's the answer to your question. Finally, we figured it out. I figured we would try to at this point, but all right.
we're having fun.
We are. I always like looking up that record book anyway. But now, all right. So now we have gotten to my favorite part of the show. Well, I like all parts of the show, but it's time for the picks.
I meant to say didn't win. Yeah, so you're good, Nolly. You're good.
Yeah, we got it. Go ahead. Let's run the music. Time for the pick six.
Are you sure you want the music? just yet? I'm not just kidding.
Yes. Oh, yeah, it's okay. No,
We have to have a little. We have to have a little fun here.
Yeah, I understood the question, Nelly. We were looking it up, but we appreciate you coming up with that anyway. All right, here we go. Pick six. First of all, how do we do? Oh boy, I don't want to look at this. Ugh. Go ahead and pull it up. Yeah, exactly. Yes, another 2 and 3 week. South Florida is killing me so far this year. Meanwhile, Josh, give him the applause. 4 and 1 for Mr. Wilson.
Yes, Mr. Wilson.
So, and I'm thinking, trying to remember the picks from last week. Oh yeah, one game was postponed.
Yes.
We only had 5. Which game was that? That was the. We don't remember anymore, do we? Okay.
I've got it right here with my little notepad right here. Actually,
little notepad. Yes.
So it was the Booker T. Washington Miami Palmetto game. That
right.
game
postponed at halftime or second quarter.
Yes, Palmetto was up 10-9 in that game, but we had the Vero Beach Buchholz game. You took Vero, I took Buchholz, got that one.
Was a mistake.
American Heritage Plantation, we both got right. Homestead, we both picked. Well, South Day got that one. We both took Miami Central. Miami Central changing the quarterbacks obviously worked. And then Palm Beach Central, you took. I took West Boca, and well,
nope.
That's why you were 2 and 3, and I was 4 and 1.
Didn't work. Tough. So overall, do we have overall mark?
Yes, we do actually have the overall mark here, Marty. No. This one. I got to stop the music just for a moment because
4 and 8. That can't be right. You didn't update your record.
Oh, actually,
you're 8 and 9. Actually,
8 and 9. Actually, I think you're right. I thought I had updated it correctly on the thing, but
you were both under 500. But
yes, we are 5 under 500.
You have a game lead, so much better week for you, 4 and 1. So, all right, let's go with this week. We got the week 3 coming up. Our first game. What do we start with? Is
Booker T. Washington versus Miami Central.
Well, Booker T. Washington, and is that game going to be made up with Palmetto? They don't know yet.
They don't know.
Palmetto. All right, well. Yeah, here we go. Booker T. Washington, Miami Central. There's the Traz Powell special here. Both these teams play their home games there. Well, I think we said it last week. Central loses week 1 to Lakeland. I think the Rockets are on the way back. Big win over Edison, and I like them to beat Booker T. Washington here this week.
Well, Marty, after Miami Central switching the quarterbacks up, and that actually proved to be beneficial for the Rockets here. Mm-hmm. I am actually on the Rockets train too for this one. And,
Rocket train.
Yes, I'm going on the Rocket train. This is not the same Booker T. Washington team, obviously, from years ago, but Booker T. Washington still, hey, pretty decent because you got Ice Harris there again coaching, in his 4th stint, by the way.
Is that his 4th stint?
Yes, wow. It is.
Man, that is something. That's the most I've never heard of 4 stints at a place. 3 I've heard.
We've had 3, but 4.
Yeah, I know. All right, so we both take Miami Central. Next up, it's a good one. Columbus and St. Thomas Aquinas.
Both 1 and 1, defending state champs, both at the 500 mark here on the season. Top 25 teams here in the state, regardless, by far.
Columbus winning week 1, losing week 2. Aquinas
losing
week 1, winning week 2. They both lost to nationally ranked teams or teams from outside the state of Florida. And Aquinas came back last week, big win for them, and they're at home.
Beat Boyd Anderson.
They beat Boyd Anderson. Boyd Anderson's struggling.
And they're 1-0 in the district, by the way, too, because that was a district game for the Raiders.
Boyd Anderson's struggling a little bit. They lost to Chile 70-7 week 1. But I'm going with Aquinas. I'm taking the Raiders there at home to win this game. Columbus is kind of struggling offensively, so I'll take St. Thomas Aquinas.
And that should be a big W there for the Raiders on my pick, too, because they're at Brian Piccolo Stadium, so I'm going with the Raiders here. And tried to look up the box score, and box score is not available yet, apparently. So some teams still haven't updated their stats, and it's Tuesday. But hey,
what you gonna do?
Well, what can I do?
Not
much I can do.
Yeah, all right.
Not much I can totally do.
Next up, we have Miami Palmetto,
and Miami Southridge.
And this game will be played at Southridge.
Usually, this will be at Southridge Stadium, but
okay. Well, this is interesting because again, Palmetto won their first game last week. They were postponed against Booker T.
But they were up 10-9 in that game.
They were up 10-9. What is Southridge? They're 1-1.
They're 1-1.
They played to this point. So
I can pull that up real quick here.
Sometimes we do these picks pretty quickly, so I don't look up as much as I should. But all right, Southridge.
I'm going to pull it up here real quick here.
Live.
Yeah, welcome to the live video here.
They've got
they're the team that Columbus only beat by 3, 17-14, and they beat Goldman 25-12.
That's We got a pop-up playing, yeah. Okay, there we go. Southridge. I got Southridge winning this game. I'll take them at home to win against Miami Palmetto.
And I am going opposite, Marty. So
there you go.
Either I'm gonna make up a game or you're gonna fall back in a game. Right?
Again, that's right. Long way to go this season.
And I'm taking Palmetto here on this one.
All right, here we go with the game number 4 for the week.
American Heritage at Chaminade Madonna. Hello.
Another good one. And you know, it's Chaminade Madonna needs a win at this point. 0-2, losing to Blanche Ely last week. American Heritage, after dropping their opening game to Milton, Georgia, they come back with a win last week.
But Chaminade Madonna lost obviously to Blanche Ely last week in overtime.
Yeah,
and then over to St. John Bosco the week 1. So.
I gotta think Chaminade Madonna is gonna right the ship here eventually. I think they're gonna win this week. And
I'm with you as well. I think this is I don't like to say it like this, but honestly, for me, Chaminade Madonna, this is do or die now.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to go that far. It's game 3, but I mean, you do need to start winning.
You do need to win a game here.
Yeah,
I feel like almost in a situation this is kind of
right
borderline. I guess I should say more like borderline do or die here, because honestly, you've got to get a win here, and you've got to get a win over a quality opponent. And here's another quality opponent. Obviously, you got a lot of quality opponents on your schedule till you hit your district schedule, but honestly. You have got to pick up a win, and this is a game I feel like they can pick up a win here. But if they can't contain Diabell, Chaminade Madonna is going to be in serious trouble.
Right, absolutely. And he had a huge game last week for American Heritage, the Texas commit. So, yeah, we'll see. But we both have Chaminade winning that game. All right, next game.
We got a battle of 0-2 teams, so somebody's winning a game here this week, by the way.
Something has to give here.
Yes, something does have to give.
There are
here.
no ties in football, so someone will be 1-2, someone will be 0-3. Homestead, yeah.
There were only ties in football when the state championship games, but that ended in sometime in the 90s.
Happened a couple times, right? But Homestead 0-2, losing last week, and tough slot. They lost to what was it?
They lost to South Dade.
Yeah.
And Vero Beach losing to Buchholz.
They lost to O'Galley week 1. And again, this is a game at Vero Beach. I took Vero last week to beat Buchholz, and that was wrong, but I'm going to go with the Indians of Vero Beach again. I think they win this game at home, and they finally get their first win of the season.
No, absolutely. And I'm going with you, Marty, on this one. I'm going with Vero Beach.
Vero.
I'm going with Vero here. I mean, honestly, if Vero doesn't win this game, there's probably going to be a little bit of some fans being kind of like, what the heck's going on here? 0-3? I mean, heck, we should have been at least, I mean, I get it. Tough schedule for the Indians, but, in my opinion, you could at least, maybe I feel like the game against O'Galley was a very much a winnable one. Yeah. Heck, you even had a lead on Buchholz.
Yeah.
Which would have given you a great quality win if you managed to hold on.
Buchholz came back and won by 15. It's in the end. So, yeah, you're right. But all right, so both have Vero. So far, 4 or 5 have been the same. And finally, our last game, Cardinal Newman, 2-0. And last week, they got a win to go to 2-0. Benjamin, West Palm Beach Benjamin, 0-2. And
yes, indeed. And I'm going to bring this up here because I believe, if I am correct in my assumptions, and I'll correct this here in a moment, we will have our first district champion crowned this week.
This is a 2-team district?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, in that case,
and I'm sorry, but
you bleeping it?
Yeah, because I'm like, really, this early?
Come on, bleep. Yeah, I know. It's September. It's going to be September 6th. I know you're right, but well, in that case,
this early,
I'd say congratulations, Cardinal Newman. You're going to be district champions because I have them winning this game.
I mean, we're going to declare the first team's going to make the playoffs here. I mean, come on. Yeah. I mean, I'm with you with Newman, but come on.
Hello, Newman.
Hello. I mean, honestly, first district championship's going to be handed out Friday.
They should put the bracket out and just put Cardinal Newman in it by themselves. If they just should this week. See what that looks like.
Oh gosh, you cracked me up, Marty.
All right, so 5 of 6. Hey, only one game that we differed on, and that was the Southridge and Palmetto game. So we'll see. Josh can keep his lead, or if I will tie him this week. But
and hey, guys, if you're watching this particular show in South Florida, in the South Florida Blitz, come on, we can hit the comment box, hit the thing, because hey, we're trying to cover everybody here, and we bring a show for South Florida, but we want your comments. We want your questions. Just hit that comment box wherever you're watching us, YouTube, Twitter or Facebook. And if you're listening to the audio podcast afterwards, we appreciate that as well. But, you can also, again, we're live every Tuesday night, 7:30 to 8:15 here. Usually, typically, we're a few minutes behind because we had an internet blip here, but we're good tonight. We're on, we're live, and everything else. But come on, we want to hear your comments. We want to hear you. We want to talk to you. I mean, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
that's a comment. No, he's like South Florida scared they can't brag yet.
Yeah. Well, hey, they will soon, I'm sure. Now that he put that up there, but. Thanks, Tully, for listening. And
I don't know how much flack I'll catch for that, but there's that.
Yeah, it's all right. It happens. We caught flack from Lakeland last week. We'll catch flack from South Florida.
You know what? I'm catching flack from Hawthorne on the next show. So
you are? Oh, well, that's probably true. But hey, you know what? Dewberry won that game. I can't say you were. If they had won, you would have been right on. So, but hey, that's how close it is. So, anyway, check us out every Tuesday night, 7:30 to 8:15. Here on the South Florida Blitz on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter X, and Instagram. And that is it for this show. For Joshua Wilson, I'm Marty Pallman. See you next week here on the South Florida Blitz. Bye-bye.